out Children International and join us in our life-changing work at children.org today. Together, we can help end poverty for good.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are, but now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis's haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for cloudy skies tonight with a low around 18, Saturday partly sunny with a high near 26, and Sunday partly sunny with a high around 24. The bakery at Cafe Latte features legendary cakes, cupcakes, and fresh-baked breads crafted with real ingredients. You won't find artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives at Cafe Latte, just pure quality. Whether it's a sweet treat or a gourmet meal, head to Victoria and Grand for Cafe Latte. More at cafelatte.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you for allowing us to ease into the weekend with you. I mean, I got everything set up here the way I need it. I'm in a room deep in a house on a Friday night. It's cold outside, and I have a very furry kitty that's at my feet right now, just sitting and just in front of me. I mean, what more could one ask for, quite frankly? It's very actually comforting. And it's as if you're watching the video stream, you'll see my room is always very dark. I mean, you gotta play the role, right? You gotta play the paranormal role, and it's actually very comfortable here, if you don't mind me saying so. So I mean, I'm not gonna fall asleep or anything, but I am excited just about how chill it is in here. And I had a really good meal. I had, do y'all like Hawaii poke bowls? That's what you call it, right? I always just want to call them poke bowls, and they're poke bowls. And I had one, and it just loaded it with salmon. I love good salmon, so I had that tonight. That put me in a very good mood. First time in a while, and I know you all get this way as well, where you get very busy, right? You have these very busy spells, and you're just keep moving. You don't want to take a lot of time to make stuff or whatever else. And so I've been eating out a lot lately, and the choices I make aren't always great ones. So to be able to go somewhere where, imagine that, fresh vegetables, who knew? That was nice. It tasted very good. And it doesn't mean tomorrow I'm going to be doing more salads. It just that once in a while I got to try to fit something like that in. I just really thought once I got through January and the Doctor Who convention that I played a role in, console room, I thought things were going to lighten up a little bit. And it's getting busier and busier, and that's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. There's good stuff happening that we can't talk about yet, but we're going to talk about down the road there. If you are into the paranormal, which if you're listening, I'm guessing you kind of are, there is some big news that we're hoping to share soon enough, and some cool stuff going from paranormal investigations that you can take part in to also ghost stories and beyond, just other things that we're doing. It's very good. It's very exciting. So please, stick with us. And I do a newsletter every week. So if you go to ghostboxradio.com, you have right up front, right at the top of the page, it'll tell you how to sign up for my newsletter. Please do so, because we also do highlights of like different shows from the 6 years. It's going to be 6 years in October since I've been at AM 950. It's going to be really, sometimes we just pick some random episodes so people can listen to, because I don't think the paranormal shows ever go out of date, quite frankly. They might rarely do so, but they really don't. We don't have Adam with us tonight. I thought we were going to have Patrick maybe with us, but he literally turned me down. He was talking to me. He's like, I want to do the show with you. That's how he sounds. And I'm like, okay, great. We don't have Deb on Wednesday, so we don't need someone on the board on Wednesday. Why don't you join me for Friday? You can join in the conversation a little bit more. He literally was like, oh, that's right. I had things to do Friday night. It's like, okay, okay. Then I guess you don't want to be on the show. I didn't take it personally, obviously. It's like, okay, invite you into our little group here and you turn us down. So just you and me tonight and a cat named Puff. You're still down there, right? Okay. You didn't leave me. And we got a lot to get through. One of the things I really want to make sure that we talk about tonight, because this is tomorrow, and I really would love to have you all come out for this. I'm going to be at the Charvinity and Maria Shaw's Mardi Gras Fair. That's tomorrow and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., both days at the Doubletree by Hilton, which is 2020 American Boulevard, East Bloomington, Minnesota. There's a lot of things going on there. You can go find everything, because I'm not going to walk through it all, because there is a lot happening. But you go to charvinity.com, and on the left-hand side, there's on the menu, it says Charvinity Fairs. You want to click on that, and you can see everything that's going on. You want to get there early, though, because there's going to be bags, gift bags given away for the first. I don't know off the top of my head here. First number of people that come in here, and you do want to definitely come on out and check that out. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It always is a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you out there. Something you need to know, though, going out there, and this is just, Minneapolis, MN. I-494 in the South Metro, Bloomington, Richfield, will close in both directions between I-35W and Highway 77 from, as of literally right now, started at 10 p.m. through Monday for bridge demolition. They're going to be removing the Nicollet Avenue Bridge and the 12th Avenue pedestrian bridge this weekend. And I'm telling you that because we still want to see you out at the fair. And, there's a lot of ways to get out there, but I just want to let you know that is what's happening. And you definitely want to plan for that, okay? So make sure once again, I-494 is going to be closed both directions starting from now and through Monday. So coming out to the Charvinity and Maria Shaw Mardi Gras Fair, you just need to find a different route. Doesn't mean you can't come out. You just need to find a different route. We want to see you out there, and it's going to be a good time tomorrow and Sunday. So please make sure you come out for that. I would really appreciate that. It would be good to see you all. I just want to, let's see here. Oh, Christy in the comments says, hello, I'm from the Oliver House. Thank you for reviewing our video a while back. Christy, this is from Myth or Mystery, right? Was this the house that we heard the child EVP? Well, was it you or someone else from the house? I'm getting confused, so that might not be quite right. I'm just gonna maybe stop talking, and if you can fill me in, because I'm trying to remember exactly where you were. So many wonderful places, but I was wondering if that was the case or not. Please remind me on that, because I just don't remember. So I apologize for that. It's Friday though, and it is okay. Good. I hope I can make conversation with comments that you can hear the other person. I hope I can make that sound enjoyable for you all listening. I'm just thinking to myself, it's just like you're getting one. It's like I'm on the telephone. You're only getting one half the conversation, folks. If I'm not mistaken, this was the house that we recorded Christy telling her story for Myth or Mystery. Remember Myth or Mystery, that great program on Thursday nights that we would do, where we would take a look at different pieces of evidence or showcase a location and try to either give our opinion on what we thought it was. And if I'm not mistaken, we had Christy on and I interviewed her. I had her like pre-record her, and while we were playing back the recording, I heard a child, and all of her children were outside. And so it couldn't have been. It was a really cool EVP. And she says in the comments, Christy says we had the bar drop. Oh, Alicia told the story. I apologize, Christy. It's been so long, and I barely know who I am. So you have that working against me. Alicia told the story. Christy's from the Oliver House. Riveting radio, as I'm trying to remember who I am and who other people are. But it was great. It was great. I miss Myth or Mystery, quite honestly, because of meeting wonderful people like all of you and finding out about these wonderful locations. So thank you for dropping a note. Need to do, and it's like, I don't know if it's the Oliver House, actually, because I'm starting to lose internet here and there. It's just amazing how this works. So I had to plug in here real fast. So I apologize for any disruption that I've had here. I tell you, you start talking ghosts and things really do start changing on you. It is no joke. Everything was fine. The internet was fine until we start talking about haunted locations, and then the internet goes out. But I'm back now, better than ever. Question of the week is this, and you can put it in the comments. We have some people who answered earlier. Question of the week is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? If so, how? Or why do we silo the two? There are no wrong answers. I want to make sure people know that, because these are things that we talk about because we're interested in them, not because there's a right or wrong. So once again, the question of the week is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? If so, how? Or why do we silo the two? Once again, there are no wrong answers. I'm going to read those a little bit later and kind of get through that. It's interesting if you formulate answers and stuff. One of the things that I'm not going to dive into too deeply about today, but we're going to kind of go into this more and more. As you may know, I don't talk politics on GhostBox Radio, even though the home base for GhostBox is on a political station. I do not do politics because this is a respite for everybody to get away from it. But there are some times that it's not necessarily even politics, but politic leaning that gets this kind of comes in, and we have to talk about what's going on right now, and that is, of course, President Trump saying that he's asking the Pentagon to go and look for alien information to release to the public. And I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what that means. And I'm just going to leave it there at that, because right now, it's just big news to know that is something that's happening over the weekend. Obama said that there were aliens. And although people are saying, well, and that's why President Trump has to make a formal announcement about it, that's not the case. President Trump has been saying this for a while now anyway. And at least that's what I've been hearing for a long time, is that that was something that was going to be happening. So that being said, I mean, your guess is as good as mine as well. That we just hopefully we find, hopefully we get some good information out of this. Hopefully we get something that, I've been. It's interesting the way that people look at those congressional hearings that we had back in 2023, and didn't we have something back in 2025 that was more about people who told, who told what was going on. I can't think of the name at the moment, the word at the moment. But the thing is I felt that it's kind of split what people thought of that. Some people think that was those hearings are really good, and other people were just like, we didn't learn anything out of it as well at all. And the night that the hearings happened in 2023, I had on Erica Lukes, and she's great, and she's one of my favorite people to have on when talking about aliens and UFOs. And and she's been on programs like Ancient Aliens, and there's a lot of other programs you can find at Discovery Plus that if there's about aliens, you're going to see her in it. And she's very good at breaking down stuff and breaking down what we're seeing and stuff like that. And I was kind of deflated actually when I asked, well, what did you think? And she's just like, no, this isn't, there isn't anything that we don't know. And it's like, I suppose, and I guess that's the case. And that's just it. It's like, what's going to make us happy? Is it as simple as having, a photo op with an alien and the president, or is it more stories? Is it more footage? Is it, some kind of like, we are working with them? I mean, there's just so many questions, and I'm sure you all have those questions, and I just don't know what we're going to see. And, I don't know what that means either in terms of timing, when we're going to hear something. Are we going to hear something soon, or are we just not going to hear anything at all? I don't know. And I don't know, I'm there's kind of a small nervousness about it actually, what we're going to get out of this, because really this is, they say it's the first time with Obama talking about it. It's the first time a president ever talked about flying aliens and stuff, and I don't think that's true. I think Ronald Reagan had mentioned it. I think Jimmy Carter had mentioned it. Neither of them were sitting in office at the time, just like Obama isn't sitting in office at this time. I think Clinton had made some kind of note about, when people asked him, he's like, I tried looking into it, and they told me there was nothing or whatever else, which very much seems like kind of like, hopefully that will get you off my back about the subject. So if President Trump does talk about it, it's going to be the first time a sitting president actually addresses the situation with aliens. And that's interesting. We'll see what happens there. I actually thought he was going to do it in his first term, to be honest. And just like, and it's also interesting because it's like, remember, he released all that stuff with the JFK assassination last year. I don't think too much came from that. There was a lot of redaction, if I'm remembering correctly. So lots to talk about, lots of things to be, I guess, quasi excited for, because I just don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know what your thoughts are as well. Feel free to put them in the comments. The only thing is, I asked that, I know it's politics, but try not to be political about it, right? Let's, if we're truly going to be learning about aliens and whatnot, why not just be excited that it's happening? So that's my hope. But if you have any thoughts about it, please put it in the comments as well. What we're going to do Why don't we get our first break in? When we come back, I want to get to question of the week. I want to talk about some other stuff. I want to talk about more of Bigfoot in the Civil War. So there's a lot to get to. Don't go anywhere. It's Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are. But now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis' haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursions to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for spending your Friday evening with us as we ease into the weekend. A couple things here I want to just remind folks about. Refined Divine Holistic Expo is tomorrow in Green Bay, Wisconsin from 10 to 4 at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. That's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. To find out more information about it, I would go over to Refined Divine on Facebook and look under events, and you're going to see it. All of her events have such great energy to it and stuff, and they're really fun to go to. So if you're in the area or if you want to take a road trip out, why not? Go check it out. Also, I got something that I think is really interesting from them. There's a grand opening in Galesville, Wisconsin, which is where they are based. And Refined Divine presents Marigold Emporium, Crystal Sage and Artisan Products, Do-It-Yourself Art Studio, let's see, Unique House Plants, In Harmony Vibro Bed Sessions, Ionic Foot Detox Bath. All this is going on, and this is going to be on. It's grand opening for Friday, March 6th, 2026. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. over at 16811 Main Street, Galesville, Wisconsin. Go over once again, Refined Divine on Facebook or refineddivinepsychic.com. Get more information. We'll be talking more about this as we're getting closer. March 6th seems so far away, but it is not. It is, what is it? That's 2 weeks away from today. So it comes up fast, but I think it sounds like it's going to be great, and hopefully I get some more information to share with everybody, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, once again, I am going to be over at the Charvinity and Maria Shaw site Mardi Gras Fair tomorrow and Sunday. Come on out and see me. Come on out for all the modalities and stuff. But once again, be aware that I-494 is going to be closed between I-35W and Highway 77, but that is no reason not to come out. There's a lot of ways to get around that, but I just want to make sure if you're coming out, plan for it, because it's just going to be a minor inconvenience, but I guess they're taking out some bridges and stuff. So that's how that works. Regarding aliens, let's see here. Jennifer says, I think if the government had any evidence of aliens, UFO, or strange visitors from other planets, a president would have revealed it by now. Doesn't stop me from believing, though. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that. I think there's a number of things at play here, and I've said this before, and I generally still stand by this, is that I think that there is a difference between government and politics, and the people elected are politics. The people running, these secret areas of the government, that's government. We did this great episode very early on when I went nightly about Roswell that you should check out. And the author of a book had spoken directly to a number of people who were involved with Roswell when it happened in 47 years later, deathbed confessions, talking about aliens that were still picked up from the wreckage live, and that they ended up dying in captivity by us because we didn't know how to take care of them. This is stuff that you really want to kind of look into, because it's such an incredible story. I'm looking up that information right now, because it's well worth a read, and I do not doubt this at all. Let me see if I can get this here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. The book is called Witness to Roswell, and the person that we had on our program was Donald R. Schmidt. And you want to check it out. At the time that I did the program, it was Witness to Roswell, 75th anniversary edition, unmasking the government's biggest cover-up. And it goes beyond Roswell. I mean, and that's the thing that you want to kind of check out, because there is so much more to it than that. And it's also a very good read. It's also very interesting. So I would check that out, Jennifer, if you have a chance. And not that I'm just only trying to sell stuff on here, but you can pick it up through GhostBox Book Club on ghostboxradio.com. Use the link and use the Amazon link, and it helps us directly as well. But yeah, it's very interesting. And Jennifer, I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. And if you have a chance, go look out for that episode that I did way back in I think late July of early August of 2023 with Donald. It's truly it's an incredible conversation. He is so knowledgeable in that. All right, so why don't we move on here, and let's talk a little bit about question of the week. The question of the week is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? We just had that episode on Monday where I brought in Char Savoy, and we had this conversation. It's not the first time we've had our conversation on this, because it's I don't think it's ever gets fully rectified. But so is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? If so, how? Or why do we silo the two? There are no wrong answers. And it's important to say that, because people like to get very, I think, proprietary about the paranormal. They like to, and you're going to see this, I think, no offense to anybody, I think you can see this in some of the answers where people are, they speak sometimes in absolutes. And in my opinion, the one thing about paranormal anything, and I think that, to me, that's including metaphysical, that there are no absolutes. There can't be absolutes. because that would mean we'd know everything, and we don't even probably know a quarter of anything. And Christy, in the comments here, answered the question. Said metaphysical methods help us connect to energies that are trying to communicate. The two work together. I mean, and my question would be, isn't spirit energy, if we're going through like trying to do spirits for paranormal? That's where I always, in my opinion, I say that they're the same. Going over to our Facebook pages where we had people answer the question, and let me get to there right now. And that's the interesting thing, is you get so many different thoughts on this. And we're just going to start off with Jolene. Jolene kind of answers it in a way that everyone else who answered afterwards are just like, yep, I agree with her. Yep, I agree with her. So that really kind of killed the conversation. But Jolene in the comments over on my Facebook page said, but here's a perspective. Paranormal refers to unexplained phenomena, often invoking empirical experiences, whereas metaphysical explores the underlying nature of reality and consciousness. The distinction lies in focus. Paranormal is more about the events, while metaphysical is about understanding their significance and context. Some seem as separate, and some others see it as interconnected. And my opinion, for what it's worth, Jolene, the way that you explain it tells me that they are the same, because once again, the level here is energy, right? That's the baseline. And if we look at looking at paranormal refers to unexplained phenomena, I kind of feel like it's all there, but I do like your answer. Please don't think I don't like your answer. I like it a lot. You know, a lot of people are like, I agree. So that's like, that kills the question, quite frankly, because no one has their own. And though says, is metaphysical more about our mental way of processing the ideas of spirits or spiritual, a way of understanding and explaining to our limited capacity minds why spirit and paranormal things exist? My husband says that metaphysical is more based on personal experience to change perception of what image or sound may be unclearly heard or seen, and our mind applies past experience to basically fill in the blanks. That's interesting. Whereas Brenda says paranormal next to or just outside of normal. And Wade says they go together, as does preternatural and the supernatural. Sarah says, I see the two as interconnected. I like what Jolene says about focus. That makes a lot of sense. And Melanie says, I think they intertwine personally, which, I agree. And I don't think any of us are disagreeing. You know, I wasn't sure if we were going to be getting people who might be like, they are absolutely different. One, you're using, devices, other you're not. I mean, I don't know what. And once again, that doesn't mean that you are wrong if you think that. It's just seeing the perspective. Now, Rob Guttrow, hi, Rob, says, hi, Greg. The electronic disruptions are from Lester. Oh, talking about my disruptions that I seem to have. Lester, who is visiting in spirit. He's been on the table behind. You mean Linus? You're saying it's Linus? Or is that Linus's evil twin brother, Lester? I'm assuming you mean Linus. I mean, poor Rob. He has so many pets that are trying to get his attention that I totally understand. So I'm not making fun of you. Please know that. But he says electronic disruptions are from Linus, who is visiting in spirit. He has been on the table behind you and under your feet over the last half hour, and have been watching. Well, I'm always happy to hear that Linus is a part of things. And I do also have Puff. I haven't kicked her yet, and that's good. Hey, Puff. It's nice to be. It's just this wonderful, like, small little zoo around here. And I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see here. I want to go to another page here where we got some more answers. If you haven't done so, please check out GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun on Facebook, and consider liking the page. I'd really appreciate it. Same also with if you go over to YouTube at MN GhostBox Official, please like that page. That helps me out a great deal. And I never say that. And I would really like to have people like it because it really helps me out. Once again, the question is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? If so, how or why do we silo the two? And once again, no wrong answers. Jody says there's slight nuances like there is with everything, primarily the same though. Understand, that makes a lot of sense. I would agree. And then going over to yet another page, I put this question out to a lot of people and get some responses. And Kelly says, quite simply, if someone sees an apparition, that's paranormal. The explanation for how that could occur becomes metaphysical. I don't know if I agree with that personally. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong, but the first thing I think of is like paranormal though, as say as a verb, as say as what we do as investigators. Isn't that what the explanation we're looking for is? How that occurs, because that's paranormal. And in our minds, isn't that where we're trying to either decide whether or not that is truthfully what that is, or are we trying to debunk it? We're trying, that's where my mind goes. But maybe I'm completely off on that, and I would be fine with that as well. Yeah, and I'm sorry. Please no, Rob. I was just giving you a hard time. He's like, Linus, sorry, it's late. And like I said, he wrote back, I was reading Three Dogs and got distracted. No, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, and those of you who are mediums, I can only imagine how you are, if you're not able to shut it off fully, or if you're in the middle of something else, how you are getting constantly bombarded with information. Sarah, who wrote in earlier, and you might remember Sarah from our console room conversation where she had talked about her pets that had passed. She came up and sat with me at the table. She said, another thought that I had is more of a question. How are we defining paranormal and normal? Is there really a normal? And that's the funny thing about that, Sarah, because I think that a lot of people who don't see it that way, I think a lot of people think that their lives is normal. And the thing is too, a lot of people also think that paranormal is just ghosts and spirits, but paranormal by definition is so much more than that. And that includes anything that becomes like out of the realm of what we can discover. So like, does that mean if we were to find this like small group of Bigfoot entities and that we were able to say, now we can say that they exist, even though I do think they exist and I've seen one. Does that mean they get taken out of paranormal and now they become just part of normal then? I mean, those are good questions. I think those are very good questions. So yeah, keep your thoughts coming in here. Would love to hear more of what people think about that. It's very interesting, isn't it? So much to talk about with that, and there's so much more I think that we can explore with that. But I want to get another break in here. When we come back, let's keep this conversation going. If you have more to say, put it in the comments. Otherwise, I want to talk a little bit about Bigfoot sightings in the Civil War, catch up on some of the stuff we didn't talk about on Tuesday night. It is Casual Friday here, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I've been talking for a while about how spooky, fun, and fascinating the Minneapolis trolley tours are, but now there's big news. The Candlelight Ghost Tours now begin at the historic Pillsbury Club, a beautifully restored haunted mansion once owned by Charles Pillsbury himself. Believe it or not, the interior is nearly 200 years older than the exterior. How is that possible? You'll have to come out and find out. Before or after your tour, stop by the on-site market featuring a curated collection of handmade goods, artisan crafts, and locally inspired treasures. Perfect for picking up a keepsake to remember your haunting adventure. You'll also find exclusive spooky merchandise from Tales of the Crypt and Elvira. Then, climb aboard the climate-controlled trolley as we travel through Minneapolis' haunted hotspots, uncovering ghost stories that locals would rather keep buried. The mansion is restored to perfection, and there is no better way to spend an evening. Visit MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for tickets and more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville. Greg Bakun here. It's nice to get out of the Twin Cities and take some travel excursion to some great locations. Minnesota has so much to offer, which is why I love traveling down to Wabasha and staying at the historic Anderson House Hotel. Opened in 1856, this beautiful hotel offers comfortable accommodations, has a delicious restaurant, and even a speakeasy in the basement to unwind with a drink. Located next to the Mississippi River and on Main Street, there is a lot of sightseeing and shopping to do too. To get more information, go to theandersonhousehotel.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here on GhostBox Radio. Thank you very much for spending your Friday evening with us. I really appreciate it as we are kind of, tackling some of the big subjects of the day in the paranormal. We're talking about alien disclosure, as that's coming up soon. We're talking about question of the week, which is a little bit more of I don't know if philosophical is quite the right word for it, but it's a kind of a stronger question than we normally ask. Is there a difference between the paranormal and metaphysical? If so, how? Or why do we silo the two? There are no wrong answers. And that's, once again, that's very important, because every answer that we have read tonight is somebody who has put some thought and really they understand what it means to them. And I think that's the big part about this too, is it has to be what it means to you yourself. And going back to the comments, Rob Guttrow says, to me, metaphysics is the study of time, space, and reality. Paranormal is part of that reality, but outside the normal perceived reality. And not so much the space and time, as time is non-existent to an earthbound ghost or spirit who crosses over. And that, we've seen this so many times. And that's why we kind of cringe sometimes when we're on investigations and, people ask questions like, how many years has it been since you died? When you think about it, it's like, oh, it's a good question. You want to know how long, but to a lot of spirits, and really most spirits, they don't know. They're just going through time and whatnot. And I always hope that meant, and Rob, I always wondered what you thought about this. I always hoped that meant that you can, that means after you pass, you can travel back and forth through time. I think that would be fantastic as a spirit to go to different parts of existence and not take part in it, but just to see it. I would love to see like the 60s in LA or the 60s in London, Carnaby Street, that sort of thing. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know. I've said it once before to somebody and someone laughed at me. I'm like, oh, then? For certain that's not a case? I mean, come on. After all, we're on timelines that overlap each other. That's what people seem to miss, is like all the timelines are happening concurrently. Not like, it's not like a long string. It's not a long film strip that's been going on forever. It's all happening. Our future is happening right now. We ourselves haven't got there yet. So let's see. Courtney in the comments says, the idea of being, what are we and why are we, and what happens next, if there is a next or if not. And I think it's in the same group, just a different branch. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. And it's very interesting, isn't it? And when I can imagine a lot of us, when we started out this journey about being interested in the paranormal, that we never really think that we're going to get to conversations like this that are kind of a pretty deep level. But the more and more we do it, more and more we get into it, these are questions that we cannot help but ask, because we want to know. We want to know what we're dealing with. We want to know what we're experiencing. And so I think that there is something about this that makes it very interesting. And that, I think the way that some of you all are answering tonight, it certainly is good for me to hear, because I want to learn more. I want to know more what people think. Running this radio show does not mean I'm an expert in anything. It doesn't mean I know it all. I don't know any of it. And so I think my job here is to basically see what other people think and, share that out and allow each of us to decide what works for us. And I feel like that, often you find people who run shows and stuff, they once again, they speak in those absolutes, and you can't speak in absolutes in this subject. So I appreciate everybody who has responded, because what that means is that that I can learn from you all as well. And so yeah, that's great. Oh, and Courtney now putting out comments that are very kind. She says, you're amazing and willing to talk about it. We need more men to be open to it. Well, and that's just it. I mean, you see like Rob Gutrow in the comments here, who we've had on the show many, many times, well before I got to AM 950. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for a long time, and there's so much to kind of get to about it. Courtney also says, be proud to be a male in this representation. I am. Well, I'm just proud to be able to have this conversation with everybody as well. So we'll keep this line of conversation going, but I do want to get back to on what was a Tuesday that we had Lon Strickler on. We were talking about Bigfoot Civil War sightings, and I pulled up a number of I don't know if we could call it recorded sightings, but like we talked about on Tuesday, there was some of these things that happened that were, that people found in letters going back to their loved ones and stuff from soldiers and whatnot. And the reason why I didn't read these Tuesday with Lon being on, because first of all, Lon's a very good guest, and you want to listen to what he says. You don't want to talk at him. You want to listen to what he has to say. So if I could have gone through all these that I found, and he could have, I don't know if he knows them or not. He could just be like, yeah, could have been that. Yeah, I don't know. And that's just it. It's not a good use of him being on the show, because as you heard, and if you haven't heard, go check it out. Go to Spotify or YouTube and check it out. It's a great episode, especially his story about when he had a Bigfoot sighting, and it's just insane. And that's just it. It's like, you want to hear what people have to say. You don't want to just talk at them, because why have them on the show otherwise? So I thought this is a good time, though, to be able to share some more of what I had found, because I still find the conversation very interesting. And I think one of them I talked about was the Battle of Shiloh in Tennessee, 1862. One of the most frequently cited stories come from Union soldiers stationed near the Shiloh battlefield. Soldiers claimed to hear howls, screams, and heavy bipedal movement in the woods at night. Oh my God. Some accounts describe a large, hairy figure watching camps from tree lines, And Lon also brought up the idea of ghosts. My gosh, it's Friday, time to go. Bears. But I think depending on what it was, if it truly is like a Bigfoot, those things generally about 8 foot tall. So, well, and bears aren't small either. Don't get me wrong. Let's see. Troops reportedly fired into the darkness with clear effect. Could you just imagine, like, you're just hearing stuff and you're just firing into trees? Oh my gosh. The sounds were said to frighten both men and horses. Now, skeptics suggest wounded animals, displaced wildlife, or frightened imagination amid battlefield trauma. You can't dismiss any of that either. I mean, I couldn't begin to understand what what they went through. I really couldn't. So I mean, that's it as well. The Antietam and Appalachian Theater reports in Maryland and the border of Appalachian region, soldiers on picket duty wrote about strange encounters in heavily wooded terrain, wild men, or giant hairy figures. And I've heard throughout so many of these sightings the term wild men, right? Moving silently through forest, stones or debris thrown into camps, which to this day is something that is not unheard of for Bigfoot sightings. Strong animal odors lingering near sentry posts, and I've experienced that, and that's also something you hear quite a bit. Large footprints found near streams, because many soldiers were from urban areas. Unfamiliar wildlife, bears especially, may have seemed monstrous as well. And these are things that, as much as we all want to believe that all these are Bigfoot encounters, let's also be realistic about it. And you're putting people, and often very young men, who lie about their age, who they might be like, I'm 18 years old, in fact, are 15 or so. You're putting people in situations they just are not able to fully comprehend. So a whole lot of stuff. And, before they even see it, they might be told by other soldiers, like, be on the lookout because there are these wild men, these hairy wild men that are around the area. And they just might be saying that, just how people spook other people, right? So those are always things to kind of keep in mind. The Western Theater and Ozark encounters. The Ozarks and Missouri, already rich in frontier legend, produced some of mysterious wood giants, Confederate guerrillas, bushwhackers, hiding in deep wilderness, isolated Union scouting parties, civilian settlers displaced by the war. Some tales described creatures raiding food stores or shadowing travelers, which I've had that before, where they're walking around with us. You just can't see them, but you can hear them and you can smell them. Let's see. So why do these stories exist? Could be soldiers are unfamiliar with the wilderness that they're in. Extreme stress and sleep deprivation. I mean, you're always on the brink of death, aren't you? You're always very close to being killed. Imagine anyone making it out of it, how lucky they must feel. So I mean, it's pretty incredible. Displaced wildlife, poor night visibility, frontier storytelling culture. 19th century America had rich traditions of wild man tales, just as I was saying. Now, there is no confirmed Civil War document that definitively proves Bigfoot sightings. Most accounts do come from later recollections, regional folklore collection, cryptozoology literature, oral histories. Like we said, it's in people's, they're talking, and a lot of times when they're writing back to their loved ones, they're talking about these sightings, these strange situations. But we haven't talked really about like the Gettysburg battlefield, all the stuff that just, all the history and, dare I say, magic that is around that area is, before the battles happened. Pretty incredible. Now this lore fit into much older North American tradition of hairy wild men reported by the Native American tribes long before European settlements. So, I mean, all of this stuff is really, really something. I mean, I don't know. This is pretty crazy, and I don't know. What do you all think? I just part of me just wants it to be right. Wants it to be real because it was something I never had thought about before. And then, it just and that's why like I'm hoping at some point, and I've never been able to find the right person for this because we're talking about those weirdness, those things that are happening during times of conflict. One of the things I've been very interested in knowing more about and want to bring someone on is the discussion about World War II and talking about the Nazi occult fascination. And definitely want to talk about that as well. Speaking of which, I didn't talk about what we're going to talk about next week. I got right back into it because people just kept giving really good answers in the question of the week. I just want to quickly say Monday, join us because we're going to have Cheryl Lynn Carter on. She just released a new book, Inside My Head. It's all about poems and stuff that she's written, but she's written it all through automatic writing. It's very interesting, and we want to talk with her about that, and maybe she could read some of her poetry as well. Also, I just want to point out Tuesday, it's just going to be me, and I'm going to be talking about the doomsday clock. We are 85 seconds to midnight. What does that mean? And I want to be able to talk about that and get people's opinions on it because it's an interesting conversation as well. Once again, folks, I'm hoping that you are going to be able to come out tomorrow and see me over at the Charvinity and Maria Shaw Mardi Gras Fair. That's tomorrow and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the DoubleTree by Hilton. Don't forget, there is some construction going on, so you're going to need to plan a route if you're going down 494 between 35W and 77th. Everyone, we'll be back Monday with Cheryl Lynn Carter. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Everyone, have a great weekend.